Hey everyone. Okay guys, so I'm gonna come on and read for a little bit. We're still in fall. I did not forget about you guys today. Today was just a little bit busier. I thought yesterday was busy, but today was really busy. And my son is saying hi as well. I'm just going to tell you guys, if you guys hear him come in, you know it's fine. But we're going to be picking up talking about the actions of fall. He already had a bath. He's eating. He just has to do homework. I had my bath. I just have to eat. I cleaned up. I'm just tired, guys. I started to come on and record on my lunch break, but my phone was on like 15%. So I was like, let me just wait after school. Took him to the park and everything. So yeah, anyway, guys, let's jump into this. The actions of fall. So in this section, I want to address both the actions that lead couples into the fall season of marriage and the actions that lead them out. And guys, if you hear any background noise, I'm in mom mode right now, so you know, I'm sorry, but you know, and there's a lot of activity outside as well, but this is like the quietest place that I can come to. Is the living room, because my son is in our room on his computer playing the game and everything and playing the, so yeah, sorry about that. So that lead them out. Without a doubt, the #1 contributor to the fall season of marriage overwhelmingly is the action or neglect or taking no action at all. The underlying assumption seems to be that the marriage will take care of itself. Husbands and wives have their own separate interests, and they forget to do the kinds of things that foster a positive marital relationships. Just as no more grapes. Consequently, they grow slowly apart. They may be jolted into the reality that their marriage is in the fall season by some crisis, such as an extramarital affair, but the reality is that they were in the fall season for weeks and perhaps months before the crisis came. The leaves had changed color and were slowly falling from the branches, but they failed to recognize it because they were not in tune with each other. How they respond to the crisis will either push them into winter or lead them back toward spring. Over and over again, in the research that I did in preparation for this book, couples who described their marriages as being in the fall season echoed that neglecting each other was the central ingredient in creating the fall season. Kimberly from Little Rock, whom we met earlier in this chapter, described her feelings after 20 years of marriage as confusing, kind of scary, frustrating, burnt out, and very stressful. When I asked, what do you think brought you to this season of marriage? She replied, lack of communication, not spending time together, having nothing in common, leading separate lives. This led to substance abuse issues, unfaithfulness, lies, and lack of trust. It is interesting to note the progression of distance that developed between Kimberly and her husband, but it began with large-scale neglect. Marvin is the husband we met earlier who felt dejected, disheartened, and unappreciated. In describing how he arrived in the fall season of marriage, he said, I think that the main problem has been lack of communication. We have been so busy having and raising our 3 children and making a living that we have not made time with each other a priority. Therefore, we grew apart. Mildred, who lives in Spokane, Washington, and has been married for 33 years, described her marriage as not good. I know the marriage will remain and survive, but I want it to be tender and growing. The kids grew up, left home and started their own families. When they left, my husband and I no longer had that common focus. We tended to do our own thing and grew apart. We simply neglected our relationship. Carol from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, echoed those sentiments. I have been married to my second husband for 12 years, and we have neglected to nurture our marriage. We have turned our attention totally to our children, ignoring each other's needs. In so doing, we have done ourselves and our children a disservice. Sorry about the dogs barking, guys. That's kind of getting on my nerves. But like I said, this is the most quietest place at this time of the day where I can really do this video. So it's either I do it or don't do it at all. But I know God is telling me to do it. And like I told you guys in the last videos, in the comment section, I would be recording and uploading the video for you guys. We're committed to this, guys. Amen. So, okay. So doing, we have done ourselves and our children a disservice. The state of our marriage is a great disappointment, but I believe the foundation is still there. My husband is open and we are trying to rebuild our relationship. Without question, neglect is what leads couples into the fall season of marriage. When a husband and wife allow their relationship to drift, they will always drift apart. When they drift apart, life becomes uncertain and scary. When couples realize they are in the fall season of marriage, they have a choice. They can take positive actions that lead back to spring or summer, or they can make disruptive choices that lead to winter and possibly the death of the marriage. One of the actions that perpetuate fall or lead to winter is a failure to seek resolution of issues. Marty from Fort Wayne, Indiana, illustrated this dilemma. We've been married for 4 years, and I'm very unhappy with our marriage. I just don't like John very much. I feel like I'm out of control, and that is not familiar territory for me. He wants sex all the time, regardless of whether the kids are still awake or I'm right in the middle of cooking dinner. I need a few things to lead up to it. You know, kind words, a nice dinner, a quiet house. He doesn't care what else gets done around the house as long as we have sex. It is not this way. It was not this way from the beginning. I admit my response has been negative. I do not consciously withhold sex, but I realize that my resentment controls my actions. Sometimes we have gone months without sex. I'm not proud of that. I try to make conscious efforts to touch him, but he is never satisfied. I try to fill his love tank, but he never fills mine. I've been bitter, stubborn, and resentful. I know that something has got to change. Marty is exactly right. Something has got to change. Unresolved issues will keep couples in the fall season of marriage, or more likely will lead them to winter. Sexual infidelity is another factor that has the potential to move a fall marriage to the winter season. 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So sexual infidelity is another factor that has the potential to move a fall marriage to the winter season. As Emily from Norfolk, Virginia said, my heart is broken. After 37 years of marriage, I never dreamed we would ever be in this situation. This is my husband's second affair that I am aware of. This time it is more serious than before. He's a partner in a successful business, very active in the community, and a respected elected official in our county. But I found it hard to respect him. He is an only child and became very selfish. We have 3 married daughters and 6 grandchildren, with 1 on the way. He is willing to lose it all for a very aggressive woman. We have tried counseling together. After the first session, he would not go back because he did not like the counselor. The second counselor told us he was wasting our money because my husband showed no remorse, guilt, or shame for what he was doing. He is now in counseling alone, I think. I pray for him and her many times a day. They both say they are Christians, but words are cheap. I have had about all I can take, but I'm still praying and hoping that he will be willing to work on our marriage. Emily's situation illustrates the reality that it takes both spouses to move a marriage from fall to spring, but it takes only one to move from fall to winter. The way we think and the actions we take make all the difference. The fall season of marriage is characterized by a sense of detaching. The leaves of our marriage are beginning to fall, and we are not certain what the future holds. It can be a very troubling time. Here is the summary of a fall marriage. So the emotions for fall, guys, is fear, sadness, dejection, apprehension, discouragement, resentment, feelings of being unappreciated. The attitudes of a fall marriage are concern, uncertainty, blaming. The actions of a fall marriage are neglect, failure to face issues. And the climate of relationship for a fall marriage is drifting apart, disengaging. In the fall season, couples sense that something is happening, but they're not sure what. There is a sense of detachment. One or both spouses begin to feel neglected. Couples realize there are some issues they are not facing squarely. Guys, I'm sorry, but that dog next door is driving me up the wall because it's hard to concentrate with them constantly barking. So I'm going to try to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes, but I still want to give you guys something. I intended to do 30 minutes today, thinking that it would be a little bit more quieter, but I guess they having a war with the other dogs across the screen. I don't know, but it's just kind of driving me up the wall. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But sorry about that. So one or both spouses begin to feel neglected. Couples realize there are some issues they are not facing squarely. It seems that they are disengaging emotionally, and each tends to blame the other. If they have lived in the fall season for a while, their friends and family may be recognizing the changes. So let's read Making the Most of Fall. Couples are often in the early stages of fall before they realize it. They have been busy with the activities of summer, enjoying life, but sometimes ignoring each other. As the color of the leaves begin to change, externally the marriages still look good. Couples are living in the afterglow of summer, but internally each partner is slowly disengaging. In the latter stage of fall, the leaves are gone and the emptiness of the relationship becomes apparent. It is this emotional emptiness that causes concern, uncertainty, and fearfulness. The dawning awareness of detachment often motivates one spouse or both to reach out for help. They may agree to attend a marriage seminar, seek the help of a counselor, or read and discuss a book about marriage. One young wife said, "I never thought I'd come for counseling, but I'm so concerned about what is happening in our marriage. I know we need help, and I don't want to wait until it's too late." The uncertainties of fall can prove redemptive if the couple turn in the right direction. Fall can lead directly into spring or a return to summer. On the other hand, if couples simply allow nature to take its course, they will inevitably wake up in winter. In the second part of this book, we will look at specific strategies for making the most of the fall season of marriage. Perhaps as you have read these introductory chapters, you have easily identified the season of your marriage, or maybe you've had difficulty distinguishing between spring and summer or fall and winter. It is true that the late stages of fall and the early stages of winter are very similar. The same is true of the late stages of spring and the early stages of summer. But before we move on to discuss strategies for enhancing the seasons of your marriage, it is important for you to identify the season you're in. In the next chapter, you will find a seasonal profile that will help you make this determination. The marital seasons profile is not designed as a specific instrument to force you into a seasonal category. Rather, it is a communication tool to help you and your spouse take an honest look at your marriage. Guys, 1 second, please. Someone is at the door. Okay, guys, I apologize about all these pauses and everything, but like I told you guys, I'm sorry. But this is life. I'm sorry about that. That's why I try to record a lot of the videos in the morning, like when my son is in school or before I do errands or before I have to start my day or whatever I have to do, because to be honest, that's kind of like the only time when I really have time, especially during the weekday. But other than that, like I have to try to squeeze in or, you know, something. So I just hope that you guys still got something out of the videos. But sorry about all the pauses and everything. So let's continue to read. Prayerfully, the next time we do our next video, it's a little bit quieter and better, okay? So the marital seasons profile is not designed as a scientific instrument to force you into a seasonal category. Rather, it is a communication tool to help you and your spouse take an honest look at your marriage. Whatever your conclusions about the season of your marriage, I think you will find the second part of the book extremely helpful in discovering or rediscovering the excitement of spring and the joys of summer. I hope you will also understand that the seasons of fall and winter are not altogether purposeless. They often serve as a wake-up call to stimulate marital growth. No marriage is hopeless. With the help of God, all things are possible. And I just feel led to just hold the camera really quick on that last part. No marriage is hopeless. With the help of God, all things are possible. Amen, guys. So let's read a little bit more of the marriage. Let's see how long this one is. Let's try to read this one today, guys. The marital seasons profile. Let's try to read the marital seasons profile. Yeah, let's see how much we can read of this one today for the marital seasons profile. Justice, are you okay? Justice? Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay, I want the door open, okay? All right, you all right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, guys, we're going to get into the marital seasons profile. Marriage relationships are constantly changing. As we've seen, they go through identifiable seasons that may occur numerous times throughout the life of a marriage. That is, every couple will experience a succession of winters, summers, springs, and falls. The value of identifying the present season of your marriage is that it will help you become conscious of the present quality of your marriage and aware of the attitudes, emotions, and actions that characterize your relationship. Some of the seasons of marriage are more enjoyable and productive than others. Knowing the season of your marriage will allow you to take positive steps to maintain the joys of spring and summer and correct the negative behaviors that lead to fall and winter. If both you and your spouse are willing to take the profile It can be a means for the two of you to honestly discuss the quality of your marriage and to take positive steps in stimulating marital growth. It is recommended that you take the profile individually without discussion until you have tabulated your results. The following pages include a profile score sheet for each spouse. So guys, for this, what I'm going to do, I'm really going to just read like the indicator, and then I'm going to try to like leave it like this so you guys can maybe like screenshot this or actually like pause the video and actually like do this test, you know, with this profile. I'm not going to go through like discouraging, hopeless, empty. Like, I'm going to keep it so you guys can see what it's talking about, because it's like column 1 total, column 2 total, column 3 total, like column 4 total, like that. So it says marital seasons indicator. What season is your marriage in? 4 words or phrases appear in each of the following 16 rows. Choose 1 word or phrase per row that best represents your thoughts and feelings about your marriage during the past few weeks. Once you have checked 1 word or phrase per row, tally each of the 4 columns by counting each check mark in that column as 1 point. You will have a score ranging from 0 to 16, justice, for each of the 4 columns. Instructions for interpreting your scores can be found on the next page. So I know that kind of was a lot what I just said, so I'm going to just kind of put it like this. In case if you want to take like a screenshot, you can see like how to do it, how the indicator is going to work. Those are his instructions. I'll keep that on there for a second. And then here is like each column. Like it's 1 through 16, and it has like, you know, different ones that you can, multiple choice ones that you can choose from. And, you know, you have to choose, you have to check 1 word or phrase per row. So like, for example, let's say for number 1, it says your options are discouraging, exciting, satisfying, uncertain. Let's say yours was satisfying or uncertain. You will check that. Then you'll go to the next one. You see? So then you would just do it that way. And then I'm going to do interpreting your scores. And then I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. So interpreting, and then I'll let you guys know at the end what we're going to be looking forward to in the next video. So interpreting your scores. As you may have guessed, column 1 lists words and phrases that are typically used to describe the winter season of marriage. Column 2 represents spring. See, okay, so it goes by columns. Oh, I see what it's doing. So like the column, you guys get it? Like if you look at the bottom, it's going by the columns too. Okay. So column 2 represents spring. Column 3 represents summer. Column 4 represents fall. Okay. The column with the most points reflects the current season of your marriage. Sorry, guys, the overcast looks like with the sun or something. I'm not sure. So a close or equal score between 2 seasons suggests your marriage has elements of both seasons or may be in transition. The highest possible score for any season is 16. If you scored a 16, it indicates that your marriage is deep in that season. And then he asks, do you agree with your scores? Are you surprised? On the next page, you'll find the second marital seasons indicator for your spouse to complete. Afterward, the two of you will be able to compare your answers and discuss what you each have contributed, either positive or negative, to bring you into this season. And guys, if you want me to like print this page or, you know, take a picture of this page and email it to you, email me and let me know. And I will, I guess, screenshot it and send it to you and tell you like it's from this book and this was from the video. You know, and maybe you guys could be able to print it or do it like that if you need help, or if you're just able to screenshot it or something, maybe, you know, whatever works best, you know, for you guys. So, okay, so, okay, so are you surprised? On the next page, you'll find a second marital season indicator for your spouse to complete. Afterward, the two of you will be able to compare your answers and discuss what you each have contributed, either positive or negative, or bring you into this season. If you are in an enjoyable season, congratulations and keep up the good work. The second part of this book will teach you some strategies to keep your marriage growing and thriving. If you are not in an enjoyable season, don't give up. The strategies explained in part 2 will give you some practical steps you can take to improve your marriage. Regardless of the season of your marriage, there's hope and there's room for improvement. Commit yourself to work for the best possible marriage you can have. And guys, Lord's will, in the next video, we're going to be talking about the indicator for your spouse. So this indicator is for you. And then this indicator that we're going to pick up tomorrow is for your spouse. And then it's going to talk about interpreting scores. And then we're going to get into part 2, 7 strategies to enhance the seasons of your marriage. It's just like telling us different strategies, steps, and different things like that. But I just hope that you all enjoyed today's video. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with the sun. I'm not sure. But I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Prayerfully, you know, these videos are a blessing to you. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of great feedback from you guys from reading this book. So I'm just grateful that it's helping someone, you know. But I love you guys. God bless. And I'll see you guys in the next video.